The lives and future of children living in warm, humid regions across the country cannot be guaranteed, as their chances of suffering from a disease called Yaws is very high. The disease on its surface is very damaging as it cripples them and restricts their movement. Let's find out more.
First, let's get a general knowledge of what Yaws is and how it is acquired.
This disease is caused by a germ, and this germ spreads from person to person through skin contact. Yaws affects skin, cartilage and bones. When it affects the skin, the most typical presentation or the most typical finding is a boil, something like a boil that is yellowish looking, and it is painless. It's a painless boil on the skin, and that looks lighter than the skin. But Yaws can also present like any other rash. When it affects bones, you see swelling of the bones, especially bones of the fingers and the joints in the wrist, in the knees. You see swellings. The boils can break down into sores, ulcers. We ordinarily call sores. So you either see boils, you see rashes, you see ulcers, all right, or you see swollen bones and joints. Now, if these are not treated, all these are early forms of Yaws. If they are not quickly treated, then it progresses into a late form of Yaws that causes destruction of the bones and of the skin.
Yaws comes about mainly because the children don't take their bath.
Does it have anything to do with spirituality as believed by some folks?
People come to us being directed by the doctors to come and see us, to pray for them, even though they went to the hospital. It means even the doctors can determine somehow, somewhat, that sometimes it's caused by some powerful spirit or something of that sort.
Yani bi homa yare keke wo de adubia wo de to so a okọ ada our friends spiritual no yare bi homa wo baye ne den de ne boko hospital de ne baye den wo say yare no onkre okwa na asen aba.
The disease Yaws occurs mainly in warm, humid regions such as the tropical areas of Africa, Asia, South and Central America, plus the Pacific Islands. Yaws is also known as pian, parangi, paru, from Bessia tropica. The disease usually features lesions that appear as bumps on the skin of the face, hands, feet and genital area. The disease, which mostly develops in 3 stages, often starts as a single lesion that becomes slightly elevated, develops a crust that is shared, leaving a base that resembles the texture of a raspberry or strawberry. Children under 15 years, especially in the warm, humid areas, are the victims. The history of Yaws is unclear, as it was first considered to be mentioned in the Old Testament, while Ghana recorded her first case in 1927. Statistics indicate that all the 10 regions and nearly all the 170 districts report Yaws. The news team visited Bamakom, Oda, Param, Asamankese and Ewutu. The disease is transmitted through body contact, and poor hygiene while overcrowding is conducive for spreading the disease.
Other children around them too, when they come into contact with them, can also get the Yaws. So our treatment is to treat the child who has Yaws and then treat the children in the classroom. Sometimes when it's about a community, we also go and treat the whole community.
This is Abamkrom and Param communities in the eastern region of Ghana. Most children suffering from the disease in these areas have reached the secondary lesion where it affects the bone and deform it. Experts say bathing twice in a day will prevent getting yaws, but sponges should not be shared. This 12-year-old girl, who became infected through joint use of bathing sponge with his junior brother, explained how her brother feels when the pain starts. The district control officer for Asamankese, who goes to the communities to identify and treat the Yaws disease, explains challenges they face in bringing the disease under control.
We find it difficult to get well to go to the field, and also most of the community health nurses also don't know the Yaws, and we don't have enough field technicians or trained disease control officers in the district that are able to identify Yaws and treat.
What does a nurse who has little knowledge about the disease suggest?
We will need more hands in training and more supervision to know how to identify the disease and the condition.
The program's coordinator tells us why Yaws eradication in Ghana is important.
Children, because of the stigma and the pain and other things stay away, they miss out on school. And some even go to the extent of dropping out, which impacts negatively on the learning development goals for universal basic education, results in family and community poverty, which also impacts negatively on the learning development goals for poverty reduction.
What does the treatment of Yaws entail?
Injection benzathine penicillin, 1 dose, and within 2 weeks the wound is healed. It can also get complicated where it will affect the bones and the joints. And sometimes if it's not detected early, it's not reversible.
What is the outcome of the research into Yaws in the affected communities indicate?
We inspected the skins of the children in the communities. That's the out-of-school children. Children who don't go to school. But you'll be surprised that if you talk to the community members, they can diagnose Yaws. The mothers can diagnose Yaws. So we engaged a lot of parents and guardians who also told us of children we suspected Yaws, and those that we found to be indeed Yaws were treated.
What interventions have been employed so far to eliminate or eradicate the disease?
Insofar as the germ, Yaws, can continue to spread from person to person, and we don't yet have adequate and strong structures to contain it, we also say that Yaws remains a public health.
Given that the injection is painful, most of the children run away. So it is very, very important that we come up with a drug that can treat the Yaws, that is oral, that is they just swallow it and then they get their cure without having to inject them.
India was one of the most endemic countries battling the disease, but it has been able to eradicate it. What plans does Ghana have to eradicate Yaws?
The difficulty has been that the surveillance systems have not been very optimal at the district level, and what we are planning to do really is to strengthen the surveillance system as it is, ensure that we capture every single case of Yaws out and provide simple treatment that will eradicate the disease from Ghana.
In 2007, Yaws cases recorded countrywide was 25,969, but the number has reduced to 8,824 in 2011.
If India has been able to eradicate the Yaws disease, then there is hope that with some needed commitment and attention, we can do same. The lives of children under 15 years should be guarded from such preventable disease that ruins their future.